everyone, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel, and I wanted to show the layouts that I made on a retreat that I went to a couple weeks ago. It was with the Secret Not Secret Kit Club and Redefined Creations, and there were 20 of us that were there. It was in Oak Harbor, Ohio, and it was okay, my impression of it was going to Ohio, and I went up to see my daughter in Michigan in March. It's very, very cold for this Texas girl. I wouldn't have chosen that time of year, but you know, I was going to go where my friends were, so that's where I went. But I wanted to show you the layouts that I had created. I didn't do 100% of them there at the retreat. I had done a few of the backgrounds before, because I did have quite a few that had some mixed media and some stitching, so I did those ahead of time. So this is one that I had done. I had got paper, a kit from Christina for February and March, and I asked her to bring them with me, and I told her to just surprise me. She knows my style. I've been working with her for more than a year, and she knows what I like. So this is Pink Paisley. No. It's called Sunny Days, but now I don't remember who the manufacturer is. Anyway, so this is the paper that I absolutely fell in love with, these umbrellas that are down here. But I was focusing on the fringe. So I was showing one of the girls there, MK, about fringing, how to use fringe scissors. And my friend Janet had the fringe scissors with her. In fact, I called her little area, you know, she had this box full of stuff, and it was like her Felix bag of tricks, and all I had to do was ask for something and she pulled it right out. It was great. It was wonderful. So this is what I created. I just did the fringe on the letter O, and it's a photo of my daughters having an intense conversation after drinking I don't know how many mimosas, but that's what they look like. In fact, this one said, well, that is her RBF. If anyone knows what RBF is, that's a resting bitch face. So that's what she says is her normal look, and I'm like, okay, you said it, not me. All right, so this is the first one, and this is a cut file. This the love. In fact, I think it had another word on it, and I just trimmed it off because I just wanted to use just the word love. All right, now this is another one that I had done. It is with Jelly Bean Soups. They had given us a packet of goodies, and we were asked to create something using their supplies, and so this corrugated pieces were all from there. These two buttons, which I would never have used, but they were from there. I used these Zots bling to attach them. Oh, you know what? I may have actually sewn these on now that I think about it. This was a clothespin that one of the girls suggested that I just take it apart. So it's only like half of one. I don't know. Let's see if you can see the dimension there. So it's just half of one. It's still pretty thick. This paper was from the Jelly Bean Soup. And I know that this was this label in the black tag here. So it's about my kitty cat Sophie giving me keto support. She's laying on my cookbooks here. This background paper is from Vicki Boutin, and then I had used some black cardstock to kind of tie everything together. Decided to do a little something different over here on the top and bottom. And I got the staples from the mini attacher from Janet. Thank you, Janet. All right, so this is another challenge that we got. It was from Scrappy Kathy, you know, Getting Messy with Kathy. She gave us a packet of goodies and said, let's go ahead and create something, and if we use a little bit of everything that she had, that we could put our name in the hat 3 times. If we only used one thing, we only put our name in the hat once. So I used something from everything that she gave, plus I added some of these words. This is from the new Color Kaleidoscope, the word phrases, but Kathy gave us this paper. I know this pink paper, this floral paper, everything came in a little bag, you know, these, all the embellishments. So all the paper is actually, she gave us to, so the prize was, she wouldn't say what the prize was until the very end, until she was getting ready to draw. And it was a memory keeper sewing machine. And so, oh my gosh. So she drew the name, and she drew my name. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I was shocked. I could not believe it. And then my next thought was, oh my gosh, how am I going to get that home? Because I was flying. But you know, the machine is real light. It's less than 10 pounds. I had to take it out of the box, and I managed to get it, you know, in my suitcase. I don't know how that happened, but I was able to bring it home. So there is that. Of course, I added the sequins. I have to add the sequins. This is also from the Sunny Days, and this was some, I believe this is Heidi Swap, this word is. And I love this, the rainbow colors. Oh, I love the stripes like that. It is so beautiful. And it's me out dancing with my friends. And then this was another challenge that we had, and it was paper that was given to us by Christina, and this is from the Vicki Boutin. It's like the watercolor, or you know, the background that's already decorated. And let me tell you what it's called, because I ended up buying it. It's called Ready to Use Mixed Media Paper, and you get 36 sheets, and it's 12 sheets in 3, and you get 3 of each 12 designs. That is a deal. That is a deal. But anyway, this is the one that I got, and I love it. And I pulled out everything here except for this pretty is from the new Color Kaleidoscope line. And I don't quite remember where this is from, but that's how this one turned out. Now I believe, oh, here's one more. This one's kind of funny. It's funny that I had these pictures with me, because I took about 100 photos with me, and some of them were 4x6, some of them are 2x3, some of them are 4x4. But I happen to have these swimming photos, and at this retreat there was like a giveaway table. So it was, you bring stuff to put on the table, and then you can take away what's on the table. Well, somebody brought poolside. There was the chipboard, there was 6x6 paper, and there wasn't very much paper, I want to say. And there was, I want to say there were stickers. So I used, everything that I used on here was from the giveaway table. Oh, except for the sequins. Yep, I was pretty impressed. I love the way it turned out. Love, love, love it. And these photos are from 2001. So that is a long time ago. Here is another sheet of that mixed media paper that, you know, by Vicki Boutin. And I made this probably on the last day. I was kind of winding down. It was a lot of fun, but for me, eventually I do get tired of making pages, but I wanted to do a page about the cell phones now and then. So a couple weeks ago, I had asked my daughter if she could do a selfie in the mirror so I could get a photo of her current phone, and then you can see her little flip phone is down here. So this is a very simple page that I put together, but at least I'm able to capture the phones from Now and Then. And of course I put the years on it. And these are from the Color Kaleidoscope die cuts. This one was rather fun. I love when we do this challenge. This is the favorite challenge that that I do at the retreats. I've only been to 2, but we've done it at both of them, and I absolutely love it. It is where she asks us to take a photo and a pattern paper and pull it off to the side, and then she goes around the room and has us draw from a hat a color. So all the colors get together, and between the few of us that are together, we exchange our photo and the paper, and then we start creating. Now we know that we're not going to finish it. The goal wasn't to finish it, it was just to get it started. And but this is what my group created for me, which I thought turned out lovely. So I did give this paper and of course this photo. So it's like, oh, they know me. They use Vicki Boutin, and they use this beautiful doily in the paper. It just really turned out lovely. So I am very happy with the way it turned out, and I never would have done anything like this on my own. It's so nice to have things in your albums that are different than your normal style. All right, the rest of these are going to have mixed media on them. Now this one I had started doing probably about a month ago. Vicki Boutin had done a Friday night class, or she's got her videos that she does where she teaches how to do things, and I had it somewhat done, but I didn't really like the background, but I finished it, made this darker, and then of course I added the photos, and this is from I'm pretty sure this is from the same Color Kaleidoscope, the word sheet, and I know that the stickers are. There's a picture of my kitty cats. And then this one, let me tell you what the mixed media is all about. I was just having fun using my art crayons, and then what I did is on one of the pages that I was creating, I was stenciling with the art crayons, but I ended up using the stencil kind of like a stamp. So that's what this is. But then I had, I want to say that I used let me get it for you. The iridescent glaze and the art crayons, and had mixed them together, and had used my stencil brush actually and made this pattern. So that's what that's about. I'm not making much sense. And these 2 doilies were given to me by one of the ladies there. Her name is Sue, that she had given everyone a little baggie, and it had some of these doilies in it. So thank you, Sue. I was able to use 2 of them on this. And then the letters here were from the free sheet, which was awesome. And then once again, using some of the Vicki Boutin words. And then this is a photo of some nachos that I love nachos, but I can't usually eat them on keto, but I was able to finagle a recipe. All right, so this one was very fun to make. I had used, I have to say, I am so late to the party, but I got some Distress Oxide ink pads. I got one from Sharon and one from Kathy, and then I bought this other one. I just bought it today. And I borrowed the green from somebody, and I don't remember who exactly, but how I applied it was really fun. These, let me show you. I use these brushes. These are very fun brushes, and now I can't remember the, here, let me tell you what the name of them is. They're called, oh, I'm so sorry. Life-changing blender brushes, and they look like makeup brushes, and they're I first saw them on Christina Warner use them, and you know, you just rub it into your ink pad and you just rub it on here. It doesn't take much pressure at all, and it doesn't leave like little foam bits like the little, you know, applicator does. And it cleans really easy on a baby wipe. Oh, they're just great. So I got 4 of these. They're different sizes, and they do sell them in a packet of 2. And to be honest with you, you can just get away with 2. And you know, I paid $26 for 4 of them, and the 2-pack were $13. So they, oh, they feel like, oh God, they're so soft. They're so wonderful. So anyway, that's how I applied the color to this. And even this right here was with this brush. And this is a photo of my niece. And then I'm using the famous quote for the pineapple. Okay, now this is one that I had started before I left home. I had done the background, which is a lot of the Vicki Boutin products, the art crayons, the pink here is the iridescent glaze with the art crayon, and then I had done the iridescent glaze with the stencil with the words on it, and then even with the pink with, you know, with the words. This is very dimensional because then I got this cut file from Paige Evans, and it was free from the Facebook page. It says Glamorous, and while I was waiting for the retreat to happen, I sewed or did the stitching around each of the letters, and then when I got to the retreat, I started looking through different things. You know, I think this was the first page that I had created, and I found it funny that these little flowers in the leaves are things that I had cut out from the last retreat in August. And so I was making sure that I used all the flowers on this page because I thought it was very fitting, very beautiful. And all the embellishments is from The Good Things. I think it was from that line. Yeah, it wasn't from Field Notes. All right, so there is that. Oh, I'm covering this up because I don't have permission to show the faces of the people in this photo. But I wanted to show the mixed media. So here's, oh, actually it was a spray. Okay, so I sprayed this background. So I put gesso down on this pattern paper first, and then I sprayed the stencil, and then, you know, I showed you a few pages ago that I had used that stencil and used it as a stamp. It was from this one. And then I had stamped the leaves kind of behind, and then this is a cut file, and then the butterflies, these were a gift from my secret sister. In fact, this paper was from my secret sister. Good Times was from a gift from one of the ladies there. Oh, I need to fix that. Okay. Anyway, there are so many things. Like, I took very little papers and things to work with, and I came back with so much. So next time I'm going to the retreat, I may even be as bold and not to bring anything to work on, because I had plenty to work on. That is for sure. All right, so this is from this is from the Pink Fresh. This is Joyful Day. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful collection. I love Pink Fresh. I've mentioned this before. Everything is Pink Fresh except for this right here. Probably not this, but anyway, I don't think this was for a challenge or anything. These sequins we got as a gift from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, I like the way that this one turned out. It's just gorgeous. This was a class that Sarah Scraps taught about stamping on like a border, and then using, you know, splatters. So the embellishments that I used here were from Vicki Boutin. It's a photo of one of the twins. I covered this up. I think it says nothing but blue skies, but I covered it up and said big smiles. You can tell she's smiling with her eyes. You can hear Tara Banks saying that. You need to smile with your eyes. Alrighty, so here is another class that Sarah Scraps taught, and it was stamping a border around your page. Hers looked really different than mine. I really went a little crazy, but so I stamped it in black, and then I used this worn lipstick in Spice Marmalade and my little brush here, and I just see how smooth. I mean, it's just so beautiful. And then this paper is Pink Fresh again, that Joyful Day. It's a photo of one of the twins, of each, the boy and the girl. So looks like she's giving him a kiss. It's so sweet. Gosh, it's so sweet. I love that photo. All right, so this is a photo, a layout that I had started. It's a stencil. The hearts are a stencil, and I stenciled it at home, and then when I got to Michigan, I painted them with watercolors, with the Prima watercolor kit that I had. And this is not my favorite, but it works. Oh, sorry, these are from the Color Kaleidoscope from the die cuts. They're really long too, these little paint brushes. It's like my kitty cat Sophie. All right, the blue background paper is from Vicki Boutin. The white is from, it's a cut file from Paige Evans, and it's the butterflies, and I just flipped them all up. But before I did that, I had used a stencil and this brush, and had put the color down, and then I added some blue so that I had a variety of color, and then I flipped all the butterflies up, and it got really dimensional. But even in the suitcase, it flattened out, but you can still see the dimension in there. So don't worry about you don't need to tuck anything underneath here to make them stand up. They stand up great. So not to worry. This Say Cheese is from the Color Kaleidoscope Words. Beautiful butterfly. Some hearts. All right, here is another mixed media. It is the very first time that I was using these brushes, and I was just so impressed with them. This I think I borrowed Sarah Scraps, hers first, before I bought them, and I had done the stencil in the Distress Oxide. And this yellow here is from an art crayon, and I had let it dry, and it was just right here and I just went back in and added some other things. So it turned out super, super cool. I really love this. Okay, now this one, I used my art crayons and I added some of the iridescent glaze and the art crayon to make this brown, and there is a stencil that she has, that Vicki Booten has, that has the coffee rings, because I'm talking about my little coffee bar that I have in my house. And it didn't show up well. Like here it is with just the stencil in the art crayon, and I didn't like it. It was too flat and it was not dark enough, and I didn't want it black, so I added a little bit of black to the brown, and then adding this iridescent glaze, it really gave it some dimension, and I love the way that it turned out. Alright, so here is another one. Actually, this one is a little different, and these are products that I don't own as for the mixed media. Now, of course, the color here, once again, I'm using the Distress Oxide, but this is like a Dazzlers. These are products from Shimmers, so I want to say this is a Dazzlers. And I had, in this, it's another product from them. It took a long time for this to dry, so I don't remember what it's called. And I put this through the stencil, this through the stencil, and I let it dry. It took a couple of hours for it to dry. And then once it was dry, I used, the Distress Oxide on them, and it takes color really well. I was pretty impressed. And then here is where I lifted the color off using the stencil. So that was pretty fun. And it was nice that there was a table that we got to try some new products, because I have learned that I won't be buying this. This is not really what I don't need this much dimension, and I really do like this. This does what I need it to do. So yeah, I'm not going to purchase that from them. And then this is the third class that we had, where we got a lovely gift from Christina and Sarah. It was the new Amy Tangerine watercolor set. And she was showing us how to do the watercolor at the top, add the color, and then allow it to drip. So what I did after everything was dry, of course, is I added sequins that I actually borrowed from Sarah. Thank you, Sarah, for letting me use some sequins, and that way it just kind of rains down. Anyway, this photo is kind of funny. And I know that this probably doesn't make sense to anybody, but it says unable to fake it until they make it, because this twin is such a goofball, and this one's struggling to keep her eyes open. But this is what their mom had posted on Instagram, and I thought, well, that's what I'm going to title this. So it's so funny. Okay, and then this is the last one, and it's my favorite. This was our brown bag challenge. So if you've ever done, well, I don't think she's done it in a long time, but last year she had a brown bag challenge that she sent a brown bag in everyone's kit, and that you were supposed to save it for this certain challenge. I think it was maybe in last February. And there were 10 things in there, and you were supposed to use everything in that brown bag to make a page. So we did it at the last retreat, and of course we did it with this retreat. Now let me tell you what the 10 things are. This is a napkin. It's Jane Davenport, and I was fortunate enough to get this one because this is perfect for this girl right here, this photo. So I used, it wasn't Mod Podge and it wasn't the Distress Collage medium, but there was something that we were able to glue this down. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what it is called. It wasn't anything that I had. So we glued that down. So that's one. This was a gold doily, which was not going to work. So I put gesso on the doily and used a stencil and the Distress Oxide and made my own doily. So that's two. There is, let me show you real close. See this right here? This is like a ribbon, a textured ribbon. So we had to put that on there. I just put it right here. So that's three. Then there was, oh, underneath my photo to add dimension was a felt Easter egg. And I think it was, it's like blue or green or something. It's just the colors didn't go. But I put it on my page and that's 4. There was this tag that I had used my stencil and the Distress Oxide, and that was 5. This piece was 6. This piece was 7. This had something on the other side, but I didn't like it, so that piece is 8. What else was there? I know there were 10 things, and I did them all, and I can't even remember what they are. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I can't remember what they are, but anyway, so this is my favorite idea. Oh, I know, we got a stick, and I had stamped, I put it in some purple ink, and I stamped it, so that's 9. And there may have been something else that I used to make this, but I can't remember what it is. But anyway, this was the page that I had created, and I actually was impressed with it. So this is something so different than anything I've ever done. So I absolutely loved it. Alright guys, I know this is a horribly long video, and I appreciate your patience if you made it to the very end. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I know I haven't done a layout share in a while, and I guess I'm going to end up doing like January, February, and March, but not include these of all the pages that I've created. But I wanted to show you, what I've done at the retreat. All right, I'm going to put this here so you have something to look at. That's what Janet says, right? Anyway, I will see you guys next time. You have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.